Welcome to A Seeking Heart with Allison Gingras, a podcast about living your Catholic life in the ordinary everyday, especially through really great spiritual reading, good Catholic books. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Amy Brooks. Amy and I have been friends, and I can say we're real life friends because we met a couple of times in person, which I always love that point. Her website, which is what drew me to find out more about Amy, is Prayer Wine Chocolate. I mean, it's all my favorite things wrapped into one website. She's also the, I guess, co-founder of CatholicsOnline.net. We're going to talk about Catholics Online, Catholic social media influencers, because I'm blessed to be part of that incredible group. Well, this is my take on Amy. Amy Brooks, let's have your take on Amy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and thank you for being with us today.
Hi, Allison, and hi, all that are your community and friends. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, Allison, gosh, I think like we connected over 5 years ago, definitely over 5 years.
Well over, isn't that crazy? I think it's been
Yeah.
closer to almost 10 years, to be honest. Isn't that,
Wow.
isn't that
Well,
funny?
I haven't been in this space for that long,
All right, so
but
maybe 8.
yeah,
Still a long time.
2016. Yeah, that's probably eight.
Almost 8.
Um, yeah, so I started this blog probably in 2016, prayerwinechocolate.com. And I really started the blog because I definitely didn't started to share recipes, crafts, organization, anything like that. For the longest time, I was like, I have no business starting a blog. But I started it because my husband and I um, adopted our son, and then I stayed home after teaching for 14 years. I was 36 when I became a mother, and I had longed for this for so long. And my son did have some health issues, but really, there were a lot of reasons. I just wanted to be home, but I still wanted our family to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured people have connected without adoption agencies before social media. There has got to be a way for us to adopt again without the huge financial commitment to an adoption agency. So I just figured I would record everything, share it in my blog, and help other couples that are intimidated by the cost to adopt. But God had other plans, and I really started sharing my faith, and I
Oh.
I've been really blessed, really blessed. So because of my blog, I met the first publisher of the Be Yourself journals, and I met people who supported one another in a group, but it was secular. So I started a Catholic group of supporting bloggers, writers, and then extended out to artisans, ministries, etc. And that's Catholics Online now. So, and I'm so grateful because I love this work. I absolutely love it. So thank you for having me today.
I didn't realize I know obviously I knew we shared being adoptive moms in common, but I didn't realize that we kind of stepped into the social media online presence because of our adoptions. That's how I got into social media. My husband convinced me to finally join Facebook in 2009 when we were adopting Faithy because we wanted to share that journey. And again, God had other plans and it turned into a place of sharing my faith. I now really consider myself a social media evangelist. I just love being in that vineyard, being in that space. It's a very unique place to be. And even though blogs seem to have hit their heyday, I still read blogs. I still go out and figure out what people are doing. I use social media to find them, not like we used to just Google things and just find them or Bing. Actually, do you remember the the search engine dog pile? Am I aging myself with that one?
I do remember something with a dog.
Yeah, it was called dog pile. That's pretty funny. Anyway, I digress as usual. And we do share in common as well that our first books were published through Grace Watch Media, through Jerry Windley Doust, who was just so gracious and generous we met him through Catholics Online. We were retreat together, and he was super generous to, yeah, my earplug always falls out. Super generous to give us both an opportunity. Mine with the Stay Connected journals for Catholic women, and yours with the Be Yourselves journals for Catholic girls. And then you followed up with a Be Yourself journal for Catholic boys. Tell us about these amazing, I love these journals, and I want you to share a
Oh,
little bit about them with us.
thank you. So it's amazing how the Lord works and the Holy Spirit works, because I've always liked writing, but if you looked at my grades and you knew my history with, English class, and I had to take remedial English in college, like, so it's all God.
Amen.
you know. So when I started blogging and sharing my faith, it's like God gave me these miracle stories to tell. It was incredible. So this one story I wrote, I shared in the Facebook group Catholic Bloggers Network, and Jerry was in that group. And Jerry said, I really like this story. I want to help you edit it. And we just started talking. And I think he shared it on his website and he helped me. He's like, start in the middle. And he just gave me some tips. And then I saw, like, he's a publisher. So I'm like, hey, like a long, long, long time ago, I had this idea for a girl's journal. I was like, could I pitch it to you? Now, this was not my plan when I
Yeah.
started blogging at all. And he said, sure. And I was like, where's that book? And I had that notebook and I
That's
had some
crazy.
things written down. Oh gosh, the notebook was like, I mean, I think it was 17 years before that I
Wow,
put
Emmy,
down.
that's crazy. That's a
Yeah.
talk about waiting on the Lord's perfect timing.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
something I had put in the back of a prayer journal. And then I typed it up. I tried to fix it. I gave it to him. He sent it to some parents. So much. He's like, we got to change this, this, and that. And there was a lot of back and forth, because if you've ever seen the Be Yourself journal, there's a lot of art, and I am not an artist. So I would try to describe my vision. And on a very low budget, but a very talented woman who was a graphic designer we'd go back and forth. So, yeah, so he helped me publish that journal. And I think it was published in April of 2017, the same month that all of a sudden I got a phone call that twins were being born from a hospital. And
That's
3 days
crazy.
later, they were in my house. So, so we adopted, and this book came out all in the same month. So
Oh my
yeah, and
goodness.
then after that came out, it was so well received, and I think because it was so different.
Yes, it is very different. It's like there's
Yeah.
nothing like it on the market, and it is really such a beautiful catalyst for parents to engage in some really thoughtful conversations where it's sometimes just really hard to enter into conversation, and having this journal, having a little starting point really is, it's a gift. It truly is a gift, and I think this is why they've done so well. And though after you've done the girls journal, obviously, then did you have the idea for the boys journal all along, or that just kind of sparked after?
Well, okay. So back up a little bit. So this whole thing is called Be Yourself, because when I was like 12 or 13, I did not fit in with anyone. I was so frustrated. I felt so left out. And I went to my
Mhm.
mom and I was like, I don't understand why all the girls on the soccer team and all the girls in my class, nobody likes me. Why don't I have any friends? It was sad. And my mom was like, just be yourself. And she walked away, because I was the oldest of five. She probably had a baby on her hip. And other kids saying, Mom, Mom, Mom. And she just be yourself. And she walked away. And I was like, what does that even mean? I don't know who I am. So that's where the title of the book
Wow.
came from. And really what's in the book is in retrospect, these are the words of advice I needed. This is
Yeah.
the encouragement I needed. And all of it comes from our faith. So yeah, so my idea was to help girls, that because you get older, like everybody feels that way in middle school.
Yeah,
Nobody.
isn't that crazy that you don't know that in middle school that
Right.
everybody feels that way, but everybody feels that way?
Right.
Isn't
Right.
that
It's
crazy? It's
just a
crazy.
stage of life. I just did a confirmation retreat this past weekend, and I told the kids in my small group, I was like, I have never in my life met an adult that says I wish I was 13 again. Like, it's just
It's so true.
never.
It
Yeah.
Middle school is just, it's just evil.
It's adolescence. Like, your body's changing, the hormone, it's just
Yes,
it's like becoming a butterfly. I don't know. I
it's
read
hard.
somewhere that, before the butterfly comes out of the cocoon, they're a gooey mess. It's just like,
They really are. They struggle, but
yeah.
that struggle is what makes them strong. I mean, just to keep that analogy, that's a beautiful analogy, Amy, because
Mm.
truly, if they don't struggle to get out of that cocoon, the chrysalis, they will die because they build their strength through that struggle.
And we
So
need that hardiness in life. We need
we
that.
do. I mean, not
Yeah.
like we want to struggle, but it does serve a purpose. God is beautiful that way, that he allows that suffering to make us stronger, to grow us spiritually, to bring us closer to him if we surrender it to him. Though, and this is why, again, I love Be Yourself journals, because we don't hear the message as a young adolescent often, that we can include God in this, that we can surrender this to God and he will bring that good for our good in that struggle.
Yeah, like the one of the very first things in there is that quote from Saint Catherine of Siena: "Be who God meant you to be, and you'll set the world on fire."
Love that quote.
Yeah. So what happened was this book really was well received. So people started asking me, "Where's the boys' journal? Where's the boys' journal? Where's the boys' journal?" I was like, "I don't have a boys' journal." So it was asked so many times. I was like, "I guess I better write a boys' one."
Yes, that's
And
funny.
so, and then again, a lot of back and forth and a lot of research, because obviously I was never an adolescent boy. So I had to ask people. And I know one guy I taught with, I went to him and he said, girls write lists, boys make a plan.
Oh, what a beautiful it's so true. That's a
Yeah.
great advice. That's great advice.
Yeah.
So is
So,
that how you framed the different books?
yeah. So, like, the boys' book has four sections, and the fourth section is make a plan.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is like a lot of people are like, "Oh, my son won't use that." I'm like, okay, I created this. Like, this is the back, and the back cover of the girls is blank, and they are supposed to design it with like crafting and scrapbooking things. And that's a lot of times I do that when I do a retreat with them.
Yeah.
But the back of this book is a bunch of short prayers, and they're supposed to do like a blackout prayer. So they keep what they want to pray, and they black with a Sharpie, they black out the whole thing.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So for those watching on video, I want you to please show the cover, showing the back of the book, but I want you to show the cover, Be
And
Yourself, and then the girls,
the
and
girls,
it's beautiful. It's like a campfire, and it's like just really nice boy colors, and this is bright and sunny.
yeah,
Um,
rainbowy.
Yes, for Be Yourself for girls. And obviously, I'll have the link to both of those. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, Amy, is something that's really near and dear to my heart, because I'm a part of this beautiful organization. I'm part of this community that really helps to bring creatives together and share our gifts, the many, many gifts that this group brings to the table, to the world, getting Catholics online to connect with other people. So you could tell us a little bit about the genesis of catholicsonline.net, and how we can get involved in it.
Yes. So when I started blogging, someone told me about a group on Facebook called Philly Social Media Moms. And it was a bunch of bloggers from the Philadelphia area, food bloggers, micro, uh, what do they call them? Micro bloggers? Like, they just blog about their
Mm,
geographical area. And
yep.
they we would all like share our posts and share our pins and repin, and we even got to meet up because we were all geographically close. And
Oh,
we
that
would,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, if a restaurant was opening, they would have us come, so we would like put them on social media. It was a very free marketing tool, but it was a very supportive group. But I think a lot of them did not know what to do with me because I was like a religious blogger, and no, like, I'm pretty sure there were a couple Jewish bloggers on there. So it was kind of, but it was great. They were great. And I did connect with a couple local Catholics. But I thought we should be doing this as Catholic
Yeah.
Christians. And you were there. I tried to do it in several groups, and I was like the new girl that people are like, "Who is this girl? And what is she talking about?" So we were in a group together that was doing it very well, but I was not the head of that group, and I got tossed from the group because I didn't do link ups, or I
Hmm.
didn't do every link up. I just didn't have time. And so I got thrown out.
But again, how God uses, those situations for good, because that was
Mhm.
the catalyst for you
Right.
to be like, hey, I know
When I
how this
got
should be
rid of it.
done. Right.
Right. So I started Catholic Social Media Influencers, and you are definitely one of like the original 14
Oh, I
members.
jumped right on that. I'm like,
Oh,
"This is brilliant.
so
I wanna
glad.
be part of this," and I jumped
Yes.
right on that.
Yeah, no, I know we connected really early, and like I'm so grateful for you and Ginny, Cocos, Leslie, Annie at the time from A Beautiful Camouflage Mess. There was a group of us. I mean,
Yeah.
Lindsay from Just Love Prince. She wasn't fully on Just Love Prince yet. She was doing two different things. She was Lindsay Trez. She was in there too. Um, Annie Deddens. Oh my gosh, how do I forget Annie Deddens? Annie Deddens. When I started my blog, I had one subscriber, and it was her.
Oh my goodness. So if anyone doesn't know, Annie Dennons is praymorenovenas.com. You've probably prayed her novena, one of her novenas, or been to one of her Lent or Advent retreats that they offer. She is the Catholic woman behind Pray More Novenas, and she Catholic wife, I think, is her website.
Catholic life too. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. I knew there was some Catholic life, Catholic wife. And I'll have the link to her and to Pray More Novenas as well.
Yeah.
Love that website. I forgot about that. That's wonderful.
Well, it's funny because I didn't really know what blogs were, and the only email list I was on at that point was Pray More Novenas, and I didn't know her. She posted in a group and she mentioned it. I'm like, you're her.
Well, right?
Yeah. So anyway, we started this group together, and then shortly after I started the group, Sarah Estabrooks reached out to me and she said, I'm trying to start a blog. I'm trying to connect. Can you help me connect? I was like, oh, I can help you connect. I'm going to bring you right in this group. And so she just helped me so much because it was exactly what she was looking for.
Right. So we were
And
all looking for.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't realize, because I thought I don't understand like 10 other groups. I tried to start these support threads and everybody was like, ah. So, but God's plan. And so our group is men and women. And our group is not just bloggers, writers, and authors, speakers, but also I really found a love for, and I had this in the beginning, for Catholic gifts. And there
Yes.
are all these beautifully talented artists and artisans. So people with Catholic Etsy shops or Catholic websites, Catholic stores, and a couple of really talented artists. Jen Norton is in it. I'm so happy she joined us. And I'm loving Kate Capato, Visual Grace. We
There-
really, and ministries. So if you run a ministry, I would love to get more pro-life ministries in there because that is just like one of my
And
passions.
and I think that's a place, Amy, that I'd really like. We're talking today with Amy Brooks, prayerwinechocolate.com. And it's I think it's a place I'd like to kind of clarify that this is not so there's like kind of two components to it. It is the creative end of it, those who are bloggers and creatives and making beautiful things and have apostolates, and that's one aspect of it. But then there's also the other aspect that maybe more of my listeners might be interested in, is that you can go to catholicsonline.net and you can find speakers to come, if you're looking for a speaker that to come speak at your church or your school. You can find places to shop for beautiful gifts. You can find blogs on every subject you can think of, all obviously so connected to the Catholic faith. So you really ended up serving two areas that really needed it: community for those who are creating, and an outlet for people looking for those creating beautiful things that are Catholic.
Yes. So my thought process there was, okay, I started this group, but I don't own Facebook. I need something that is owned by me. So I started
Yes.
a directory, and I thought this exactly what you just said. What we have a map on our directory. Now Google's changed a little bit. We're trying to do some maintenance work on it, but it is there. Just it'll say doesn't support. Just click that away. You should see a map with a bunch of, it almost looks like tacks on it. So you can see how about 350 members are listed on that directory, and you can see where they live. The bulk in the United States, a good amount in Canada. I'm going to talk to one woman that was in Hawaii, but now is in Germany. Kiera was with us for a really long time, the founder of Catholic Mothers.
Who is in England,
Yes,
right?
in the yes, in the
London. I
United
think she was
Kingdom.
in London. I don't know if she's
Yeah, now I think she just lives in like a suburb of London now.
yeah.
But so it's
That's
really international. We've some from Australia, and yeah, so that was the point. Like, do you need a speaker? Maybe you can't afford to hire Abby Johnson, but look and find someone close to you and you can bring them. Or just maybe you've already had all the big names and you're looking for more.
Right.
Another one was we go to you and I are from major city areas, Boston. I'm from Philly, and you go to these Christmas bazaars, and it's like all these craft tables set up, and none of them are Catholic crafts. And
Right.
so we have a whole artisan section, so you can really reach out to these artisans that, especially local ones, and say, come to our, come share your rosaries, uh, and all the other religious and beautiful, prayerful products that you're creating.
Jewelry. I have so loved discovering all the beautiful Catholic jewelry that is available. Not that my husband likes that I've discovered it, but I certainly have enjoyed finding all of the beautiful things. Well, Amy Brooks, it is always wonderful to speak with you. You are a powerhouse. I didn't think I could ever find anybody who multitasked more than I did. But you do this all with little guy and twins, which I know they're
Yeah.
getting bigger, but they're still little people. I
Oh my.
remember meeting I'm just gonna tell the funniest story. So if you probably can't tell, especially if you're just hearing her voice, but Amy is a tiny little person, and she had the Lord sent her the biggest twins you have ever seen. They had to wait when I met you, I think they were probably 6 months or so, and I think together they weighed as much as you did, and you would carry both of them in a diaper bag and your own. I was like, "This woman is incredible. You are strong on the inside and the outside." I just wanted you to know that I was absolutely awed by
Oh.
you in that moment. And you brought me to pray at the St. Catherine Drexel shrine that was then available. And I'll never forgotten that kindness either. We just had her feast day the other day, and I was thinking about our beautiful day
Oh.
together praying. So thank you for all of your yeses to God, for being open to life and however He brought it through adoption. I also going to put a link for the beautiful spiritual adoption prayer and ministry that you have out there, praying for a child that,
Is in danger of abortion.
thank you. And
Yeah.
I just find that just so beautiful. It's a beautiful certificate that Amy has that you can download. You can put a name on it. You can put it, just put it on your refrigerator. And time you walk by it, pray for that child that
Mm.
the mother will choose life, because that's just the most heroic thing they can do. And I'm sure it's the hardest decision they ever have to make. But people like Amy and I who've been blessed by that decision, and those children who now have a beautiful life, it's just great. You just do so many wonderful things. Amy, how
Oh.
can we keep in touch with you? How can we find out more too, not just about your beautiful ministry, but also about Catholics Online?
So on Instagram and Facebook, so Instagram is probably the easiest. Catholics Online on Instagram, Prayer Wine Chocolate on Instagram, all one word. And the website's prayerwinechocolate.com and catholicsonline.net. We do have a YouTube channel. It's a little, about 150 subscribers. I'm trying to use that more, but I don't know if you can find that. So maybe you could just post the link if I send
Yeah,
it
of
to
course.
you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post all the links, and then I'm sure everything is also found on either one of those websites. So if they go to the
And the Be
website,
Yourself journals on Amazon. It's on my website. It's our Sunday Visitor is the publisher. So, yeah. I mean, I if you Google Girls Catholic Journal, I think it is the first thing that comes up. So,
that's amazing. And then
mhm.
if you have a local shrine or Catholic bookstore, mention this journal to them. It's such a beautiful gift, and I'm sure most of the I always say go and patronize these local small businesses. We're all about small businesses at Catholics Online. So if you have a bookstore or a shrine store near you, show them the book, bring it into them, or ask them to consider making it and available, because it really is the perfect first communion gift, even a confirmation gift. I know it's for maybe a little younger kids, but I think
No, I really think confirmation is good. I think a lot of people do give it for First Holy Communion, which is fine, but they grow into it more.
yes,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Amy Brooks, for spending this time with us. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, as always.
Same as always. So great to be able to talk to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
been listening to A Seeking Heart with Allison Gingras. God bless.